Yeah. It looks like we're live right now.
Are we?
Yeah.
It's a little slow today, I tell you. Yeah, the internet speed is so slow here. Yeah, I just don't get it. It's like I got 800 download, and then it says you have 60, but I think my guy might be working on video again. And it's one of those things you try to remind him that when we go live, don't be uploading video because it takes away from our upload. But
I didn't even think about that.
yeah, I had one live I was doing the other day, and my whole screen was black. You could hear me, and then I was like, man, I can't believe that happened. He's like, oh, I was uploading video.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah. So anyway, this is all about, our live today is about should you stage a home when you're selling it?
Yeah.
So yes, you should. And that's been our show. Have a great day. I think a lot of people don't realize that. I think we talked about this before, that it's important to put your house so that other people can vision what their stuff would look like in it instead of what your stuff looks like in it. Correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's it. Nothing else.
Nope. That wraps it up, man. Okay. So the question I get asked quite often is, does my home need to be staged? And does every home need to be staged? Like everything in real estate, it depends.
Well,
right?
I got the wrong I hit the wrong banners. You didn't have our real estate. There we go.
Okay, I was gonna say it's our Tuesday's acting like a Monday, huh?
Yeah, well, it must be because it was a holiday week. So let's keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's all right. So, like I was saying, it depends. So there's a lot of homes that are tastefully decorated, and people can imagine themselves in. And so the homes like that, oftentimes what we need to do is normally just declutter. Most of us don't realize that the appliances we use every day that are sitting on the countertops, the family pictures that are around the house, sometimes even just rearranging the furniture that's in there can show off the space a little bit more. So home staging is a whole industry in itself, and it's really helpful, but it doesn't have to be done in every home. And it is an added expense, which I'd like to talk about later on.
Okay. Now, a lot of people are going to say, why are you guys talking about this when you've always been talking to the buyer, right? Well, because a lot of people are selling their house now to buy another home, and we want to make sure they get the top dollar they can when they're selling their house so they have enough money to buy that next house. And that's why we're doing these also to help when you go to sell your house. Because I actually have 2 clients right now who are selling a house to buy the next house, which I was going to say, there's going to be less of that happening. Well, I'm seeing more of it happening. It's just, a lot of people don't like their neighborhood. They don't like their neighbor, whatever the reason is, and they're looking to buy somewhere else.
I was gonna say right now, it's pretty rare when you find a house that's vacant, that you could just go show. Normally it's going to be contingent on them finding a replacement property.
Right. And it just makes, when you as the buyer go into somebody else's house that's staged properly, you can see yourself in there much easier, and it makes your buying decisions much better. Plus, normally I think when a house is staged, it gives you the thought that they must have taken care of this house if they're staging the house now to sell it.
Yeah, it definitely shows a level of care for the home, right?
Right.
Another thing that's really distracting for some buyers is personal knickknacks, things like that. Anything that takes away from them picturing themselves in the house is not going to help. And it's always a hard conversation to have, but you just try and deliver it delicately and say, what, I think it'd be better if we do this.
It might be better if you put away those 100 Hummel statues.
Yeah, or your Swarovski crystal set, right?
Yeah, something along those lines. I have my train set up. Is that okay?
Yeah. I do know somebody who has one set up in their house.
So do I. And that's you. But anyway.
Okay. So the next one, does staging work? Absolutely. But there's as I said again, there's times when you don't really need to stage a house. So say you had an investment property as a rental, and you're listing it on the market right now for median price, right, which is around 400. Honestly, you don't have to put staging furniture in there because that house is going to have multiple offers regardless.
Right.
And that so that would be an added expense that you really don't need to spend. Right. But prime example was a house just closed on recently. It was in a really nice neighborhood. It was vacant, because the folks had moved out of it and they moved on a different place. And it really needed staging because it showed off the architecture of the home. It was a mid-century, kind of home. And so it had, really eclectic wallpaper and things like that. So the stager that they had hired brought in furniture that just really made the place pop, and it really showed it off. And it's in a price point, where you can justify that. Yeah.
And back to your 400, because I mean, FHA in our area is 420 max loan amount, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why anything 450 below, you don't really need to do it on, because it's going to go FHA. And a lot of people, that means multiple offers, right? That is that price point where you have, 65-70% of the people who write offers are in that price point.
Absolutely.
Or
and
have
then
that program.
And the last part I want to talk about was just like staging costs, right? Because this is why you kind of go back and forth on, do I want to pay for staging? For say, I don't know, like an average 3-bed, 2-bath, like 1,500 square feet, you're probably looking, 1,500 to 2,200 for staging. Take that up to something that's closer to 3,000 square feet, and you're probably right around $3,500.
Right, but if that gets you people walking in, like the one you're talking about, the mid-century modern, if they didn't stage it to take effect of the wallpaper that most people would have said was gaudy or whatever, I don't know if it was, but I'm just in my head, I'm picturing that. Then and if they put stuff there to make it work, then you're like, wow, I didn't think that would work, and now it works perfectly if I have the same stuff. And exactly. And a lot of time these are staging companies who have this furniture, or they're actual companies in town that actually sell furniture, and they have it for staging. So you can sometimes buy the furniture that's being staged.
Yeah, and most of the stagers are interior decorators, and they do really incredible work. It's impressive.
No, because I have our house was done by an interior design, because I got tired of buying furniture that my wife looked that never worked in the situation. I'm not picking on her, but she's like, oh, that'd be so nice there. And it never worked. And I don't want to get in arguments. So yeah. So we hire the lady, and that's what we do. We just every time, and then we're building that house. We've already got them set up to do the furniture, already have it designed. So it's cheaper in the long run to have somebody help you design your setup of your house than you do it yourself and buy multiple pieces of furniture. Because if you buy an extra couch that doesn't work now, or a couple of the chairs that now you're in $2,500 to $3,000 you just wasted, which is a lot more than what it costs you to have a designer come in and fix that for you.
I agree. With my first house, we bought this big sectional, and then we bought our next house, and we found out we had no way to get it in unless we were going to remove the front living room window. And we're like, well, okay. So we ended up selling the couch for like 20% of what we paid for it, like 6 months before that.
Well, that's what happened when we bought our cabin. We ended up getting 2 recliners and a sectional, not a sectional, but a couch that had recliners in them, perfect for the cabin. And the people had bought it at the store, brought it home, and it didn't fit in their house, and they couldn't take it back.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so I was like, perfect price for us.
Oh man.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's staging works. You should do it. Was there anything else you want to add on here?
No, it's just a question I get a lot, and people are always kind of curious, at what price point should I stage my house, and what will be the benefits of it? And there's always benefits. It's just, is it a bad idea to stage a house? No. But normally we can make it work with the furniture you have. If we're in a higher price point and the house is vacant and it's eclectic, those are definitely times when you want to stage a house.
Right. And if you have somebody come in that's going to stage your house, they're going to look to see if you have furniture that you can use already. Right. And it's important. Now, I want to go back to one. I know you finished your thing, but years ago, this family wanted to sell their house and buy this other house in this area. It was a new home they were going to be buying. They go, hey, how can we get our house ready? I walked in. The first thing I smelled was litter boxes. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And so it's like, okay, if you want to sell this house, the first thing that someone walks in should not smell litter boxes, should not smell animals, should not even know there was animals all over the place in this. So they cleaned it up, threw away a lot of the furniture that had been destroyed by their animals, cleaned it up, put stuff in there, and it sold right away. And this was not in a seller's market. This was in the, when it was in the middle, which we call a normal market. So that helped a lot. So first thing you should do, no matter what, is if you have animals, clean up everything, paint outside. If you have a dog that chewed on stuff, clean up a lot of stuff that would normally be there. You're going to have to disclose that pets have been there, but let's get it to where it's so clean you don't even know there's been pets in that house, right?
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
There's one thing that you know it's there. There's another thing when you can smell it's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So basically, staging works. If you're selling your house, you should stage it, have someone come in if you have, and see if they can use the furniture you have now. And then if not, then get some additional furniture and clean it up. But the biggest thing we talked about, I think a couple lives ago, about decluttering, go get one of those boxes, put everything in it, or have a huge garage sale and get rid of it.
Yeah. Even the most, organized person doesn't realize that they have some clutter that's not going to be attractive to buyers.
Yeah. Well, you've been there any time at all, you're going to be storing a lot of stuff that you don't need. So stage the house, get the top dollar for it. I know you're going to get a lot of money today, but it's just a little bit more that you could get out of that house for you to buy that next house.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for being here today, Bobby.
Hey.
Everybody, thanks for watching. If you like what we do here, just share. Let us know if you're watching this after the fact by hitting #replay. If you want to get in touch with me, you can just go to edparcaut.com. You can get Bobby through Facebook, Instagram, or maybe he's not on Instagram yet, but we'll get him on there.
I am. All
right. So direct message him just like you can me through Facebook everywhere. And I'm Ed Parcaut everywhere. All right, Bobby, thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Ed. I appreciate it, man.